Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into four of Australia's most fascinating and ultra-rare Elizabeth II 5-cent coins. Though small in size, this piece carries incredible history, value, and collector appeal that makes it stand out in the numismatic world. The 1968 Australia Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark holds a very special place in numismatic circles. Though small in size and modest in face value, it is a coin that has become an object of fascination for collectors worldwide. Its age, connection to the early decades of decimal currency in Australia, and its scarcity in pristine condition all contribute to its desirability. Even coins in dirty or well-circulated condition can attract considerable attention, as they link back to a transformative era in Australia's monetary history. Today, this piece is recognized not just as currency, but as a symbol of the artistry, heritage, and meticulous craftsmanship that define Australian coinage. The 1968 issue was produced during the early years following Australia's switch to decimal currency in 1966, when the new system of cents and dollars was still a novelty to the public. The coin's release reflected a period of transition, where Australians were adjusting from pounds, shillings, and pence to a modern decimalised system. The lack of a mint mark on this particular issue means it was produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, a facility that had been established only a few years earlier. This historical context makes the 1968 5-cent coin especially valuable, as it represents both the modernization of the nation's currency and the consolidation of a new minting tradition under Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The coin's design is one of its most recognizable and enduring features. The obverse displays the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by Arnold Machin, which was introduced in the 1960s and became iconic across Commonwealth coinage. The reverse depicts the spiny echidna, an animal unique to Australia, designed by Stuart Devlin, who served as the official goldsmith and coin designer of the time. Struck in copper-nickel, the coin weighs 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters in diameter. Its simplicity is matched by elegance, and in higher grades the fine detail of the echidna's spines and the queen's portrait truly stand out, adding aesthetic appeal to its numismatic value. Despite being a common circulation coin in its era, the 1968 5-cent piece without a mint mark has become increasingly difficult to find in premium condition. Millions were minted, but heavy use in everyday commerce, combined with the passage of more than half a century, has made uncirculated examples extremely scarce. Coins found today in dirty or worn conditions still retain historical significance, but collectors prize those with sharp detail and minimal wear. It is this scarcity in higher grades, rather than the overall mintage, that drives the coin's rarity. Additionally, minor variations or errors from this year have only heightened interest among specialists, adding another layer to its collectability. The market value of this coin varies significantly depending on its state of preservation. A heavily circulated and dirty piece may sell for only a few dollars, yet even these examples remain collectible due to their historical resonance. In contrast, coins graded in uncirculated condition by professional services can command between $200 and $800, with particularly fine specimens known to achieve higher prices at auction. Exceptional examples, such as those with full luster and no handling marks, have been known to approach values around $1,500 in rare cases. The steady growth of interest in Australian decimal coins has ensured that the 1968 5-cent piece remains a strong performer in the collector's market. For those looking to collect this coin, careful attention to detail is essential. Identifying sharp, well-struck examples is the key to acquiring a valuable piece, and certification by reputable grading bodies provides assurance of authenticity and quality. Collectors are advised to store their coins in protective holders to avoid further tarnish or handling damage, especially since copper-nickel can dull with time. Searching through bulk coin lots, attending specialized numismatic auctions, and building relationships with trusted dealers are some of the most reliable strategies for finding better-grade specimens. Patience and persistence often reward the collector who appreciates both the art and the history of these coins. The broader appeal of the 1968 5-cent coin lies not only in its design or rarity, but in its role as a tangible link to Australia's cultural and economic history. Coins such as this one remind us that money is not simply a medium of exchange, but also a reflection of national identity and the time in which it was made. The enduring image of the echidna has cemented itself as one of Australia's most beloved coin motifs, and the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II captures a significant era of her reign. Together, these elements turn a small piece of metal into an artifact of enduring importance. In conclusion, the 1968 Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark stands as more than just a fragment of currency. Its historical background, elegant design, increasing rarity, and strong market performance all contribute to its high regard among collectors. Whether acquired as a modest circulated piece or a prized, uncirculated example, this coin offers both aesthetic enjoyment and potential long-term value. For enthusiasts of Australian numismatics, it remains a cornerstone of any serious collection and a vivid reminder of the nation's numismatic evolution. Next up, the 1969 Australia Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark is one of the intriguing issues within Australia's early decimal series, admired for its subtle rarity and enduring numismatic charm. While at first glance it may appear like any other small coin of everyday use, collectors view it differently, as it represents a key stage in the development of Australia's modern currency system. Even examples found today in dirty or worn condition have a place in collections, not only because of their age but also because of their connection to an era when decimal coinage was still establishing itself in the public consciousness. The continuing demand for these coins ensures they remain highly sought after among enthusiasts who wish to secure a piece of Australia's coinage heritage. The year 1969 fell just 3 years after the introduction of decimal currency in 1966, a monumental shift in Australia's monetary history. This period was one of adjustment, as Australians gradually became accustomed to cents and dollars replacing pounds, shillings, and pence. The 5-cent denomination itself was introduced as a successor to the pre-decimal shilling, and its adoption reflected the continuity of value between the two systems. The absence of a mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, which had only recently begun producing circulation coins. As such, the 1969 issue connects collectors with both the social transformation of the decimal era and the strengthening of a new national minting tradition. The design of the 1969 5-cent coin showcases both artistry and national symbolism. On the obverse, the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin presents the monarch in a graceful yet modern style, a depiction that became a hallmark of Commonwealth coinage in the late 1960s. The reverse features the distinctive echidna, crafted by designer Stuart Devlin, whose work is celebrated for capturing the character of Australian wildlife with precision and creativity. Struck in durable copper nickel, the coin weighs 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters in diameter. Its compact size, combined with detailed engraving, makes it one of the most admired designs of the early decimal coin series. Though minted in significant numbers for circulation, the survival of the 1969 5-cent coin in high-grade condition is surprisingly limited. The vast majority of these coins entered everyday use, and as a result, many surviving examples show heavy wear, dirt accumulation, or surface damage. Collectors seeking sharp details in the Queen's portrait and the echidna's spines face a genuine challenge, since coins free of blemishes or tarnish are exceptionally scarce. Errors, such as off-center strikes or weakly struck details, occasionally appear and are regarded as rare treasures by numismatists. The combination of age, circulation wear, and the difficulty of locating uncirculated pieces elevates this coin's rarity in today's marketplace. Market values for the 1969 Elizabeth II 5-cent coin vary considerably depending on condition. A coin in very dirty or well-circulated condition may only attract modest offers of $200 to $250, though collectors will still show interest for the date. Examples in extremely fine condition, with only light wear, may be valued between $300 and $1,000. Coins graded uncirculated by professional services can command far higher premiums, typically ranging from $2,500 to $6,000. With particularly outstanding specimens exceeding $11,000 at auction. These values reflect not only rarity but also the growing interest in assembling complete decimal collections, which has pushed demand upward in recent years. For collectors intent on acquiring this coin, careful inspection is essential. The echidna spines and the queen's hair detail are key indicators of condition, and coins retaining sharpness in these areas are most desirable. Certification by reputable grading services adds both value and security, especially for higher-grade examples. Since copper-nickel is prone to dulling or tarnish, storage in airtight holders or archival-quality flips is recommended to preserve luster. Collectors should also consider sourcing coins from established numismatic dealers, reputable auction houses, or community exchanges, where the authenticity and quality of specimens are more likely to be guaranteed. The appeal of this coin lies not just in its financial value but in the story it tells of Australia's cultural and economic transformation. It represents a moment when the country embraced a new monetary system, balancing modern innovation with continuity in design. The use of the echidna, a uniquely Australian creature, emphasized national identity, while the portrait of a youthful Elizabeth II reflected an era of optimism and stability under her reign. Together, these artistic and historical aspects make the coin more than just a piece of metal. It becomes a miniature work of history and symbolism. In closing, the 1969 Australia Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark continues to stand out as a collectible of lasting importance. Its scarcity in high-grade condition, elegant design, and link to the formative years of decimal currency secure its place in numismatic history. Whether appreciated as a worn and dirty circulation coin or cherished as a gleaming uncirculated piece, it carries both tangible and sentimental value for collectors. As interest in Australian decimal coinage continues to grow, this coin's appeal shows no signs of fading, ensuring its legacy within the numismatic world for years to come. Next up, the 1973 Australia Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark is regarded as one of the standout pieces in the early decimal era for its distinctive rarity and enduring appeal among collectors. While many people may overlook such a small denomination, those familiar with Australian coinage know that this particular date is one of the harder-to-find issues, especially in well-preserved condition. Even coins that have survived in dirty and heavily circulated states carry significance, because they represent a scarce chapter of Australia's numismatic history. Its desirability has only grown over time, making it one of the most talked-about 5-cent pieces from the decade. By 1973, decimal currency was still in its early years, following its introduction in 1966. Australians had largely adjusted to the system of dollars and cents, but certain denominations, like the 5-cent coin, were still being struck in relatively modest quantities compared to earlier years. The 1973 issue, produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, is historically important because of its low mintage relative to surrounding years, making it much scarcer in the marketplace. This scarcity was not widely noticed at the time since the coin circulated freely, but in hindsight it has become a defining feature of the issue and a reason for its elevated status in collections today. Design-wise, the coin continues the traditions established at the start of decimalization. The obverse bears the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II created by Arnold Machin, one of the most recognizable royal portraits of the 20th century. The reverse once again features Stuart Devlin's celebrated echidna design, showcasing Australia's unique wildlife in exquisite detail. Struck in durable copper-nickel, the coin weighs 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters, consistent with the series standard. While the design is the same as in earlier and later years, it is the combination of limited production and the preservation of fine detail that gives the 1973 issue a special allure in numismatic circles. The rarity of the 1973 5-cent coin is one of its defining qualities. With a notably lower mintage than most other years in the series, it quickly became one of the hardest decimal coins for collectors to locate in higher grades. In circulated form, the coin is not impossible to find, but examples free of dirt, heavy wear, or surface damage are extremely elusive. Proof issues exist, but these are also highly sought after and often command strong premiums. Errors and unusual varieties from 1973, while scarce, are considered even more desirable, making them prized discoveries when they appear in auctions or collections. Market values for the 1973 5-cent coin reflect its rarity and demand. Dirty or well-worn pieces typically sell for around $200 to $300, depending on the condition. Coins in better circulated grades, such as very fine to extremely fine, can range between $350 and $1,120. Uncirculated examples, particularly those graded by professional services, are far more valuable, often reaching $1,300 to $7,100, with especially pristine specimens occasionally exceeding $8,000. Proof examples in top condition are known to command even higher figures. Over the years, its consistent performance at auction has cemented its reputation as one of the most valuable coins of the series. For collectors, securing a 1973 5-cent coin requires patience and diligence. Checking for strong detail on the Queen's portrait and the echidna's spines is essential, as these features are the first to wear down in circulation. Professional certification is recommended for high-grade or proof specimens, both for authentication and to maximize value. Proper storage, such as using archival-quality flips or capsules, will help preserve the coin's condition, as copper-nickel surfaces are prone to dulling over time. Collectors often seek out reputable dealers, specialized auctions, or coin shows where this elusive date may occasionally appear. The broader significance of this coin lies in how it encapsulates the challenges and triumphs of Australia's decimal transition. Its scarcity reflects the practical minting decisions of the time, while its design maintains the balance of national identity and royal tradition that characterized the series. To hold a 1973 5-cent piece is to hold a fragment of a pivotal period in Australian history, a reminder of how even the smallest denominations can carry immense cultural and historical weight. In summary, the 1973 Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark is more than just a small denomination. It is a cornerstone of Australian numismatics. Its low mintage, enduring design, and scarcity in high-grade condition make it a coin of exceptional interest to collectors. Whether found in worn and dirty form or acquired as a pristine, uncirculated piece, it continues to attract strong demand and appreciation. As time passes, its value, both financial and historical, is likely to grow further, ensuring its enduring appeal for future generations of collectors. Next up, the 1979 Australia Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark is one of those pieces that, while often overlooked in everyday circulation, has gained remarkable significance in numismatic circles. Collectors prize it for its blend of age, artistry, and scarcity in higher grades, making it far more than just a small unit of currency. Even coins found today in dirty or heavily circulated condition tell a story of their journey through decades of use. For enthusiasts, the 1979 5-cent piece is not only a collectible item but also a reminder of how even the smallest denomination can hold historic and monetary value. When this coin was struck in 1979, Australia was more than a decade into its decimal currency system, introduced in 1966. By this time, the 5-cent denomination had fully established itself as the replacement for the pre-decimal shilling, becoming a common feature in everyday transactions. Produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, the coin reflects the continued expansion of decimal coinage into the modern era. The late 1970s were also a period of economic and cultural change in Australia, and coins of the era serve as subtle artifacts of those transformations. The 1979 issue fits neatly into this narrative, representing both continuity and adaptation in the nation's coinage. The design of the 1979 coin maintains the visual consistency of the decimal series while showcasing artistic mastery. The obverse bears Arnold Mackin's elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design that had become widely familiar across Commonwealth countries by that point. The reverse once again features Stuart Devlin's echidna, rendered in remarkable detail that highlights both the animal's natural character and Devlin's craftsmanship. Struck in copper-nickel, the coin weighs 2.83 grams and measures 19.41 millimeters in diameter. While identical in design to other years, It is this timeless artistic quality that has kept the coin relevant and admired within collections. Although millions of 5-cent coins were minted in the 1970s, the 1979 issue holds a special reputation for being surprisingly difficult to find in pristine condition. Most examples were heavily circulated, leaving few with sharp detail or original luster. As with other coins of the series, varieties and minting errors have been recorded, including off-center strikes and die cracks, which significantly enhance rarity and collector interest. For this reason, the year is remembered not just for its standard production but also for the occasional appearance of unusual specimens that elevate its standing among specialists. The market value of a 1979 Elizabeth II 5-cent coin depends heavily on condition. Coins in very dirty or well-worn condition generally sell for a modest $100 to $500, reflecting their availability. However, examples in better circulated grades, such as extremely fine, can fetch between $250 and $600. Uncirculated coins certified by professional grading services command a far higher premium, often ranging from $1,500 to $4,000, with exceptional pieces known to reach or even surpass $6,000 at auction. Rare errors from this year can sell for much more, sometimes exceeding $9,000, demonstrating how collector demand shapes the market. Collectors seeking to acquire the 1979 5-cent coin should prioritize detail and eye appeal. The most telling features of quality are the Queen's hair strands and the fine spines of the echidna, which tend to flatten quickly in circulation. Certification from reputable grading agencies is advisable for high-value coins, as it assures both authenticity and grade. Because copper-nickel surfaces can dull or discolor, proper storage in protective holders is critical. Collectors are also encouraged to monitor reputable auctions, coin fairs, and trusted dealers, where well-preserved examples of this date occasionally appear. Beyond its market value, the coin's significance lies in its role as a cultural and historical artifact. It represents an era when Australia's decimal system had matured yet retained the artistry and symbolic identity introduced at its inception. The enduring image of the echidna embodies a distinctly Australian character, while the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II reflects continuity and tradition. For collectors, these aspects make the coin more than a monetary token. It becomes a piece of history tied to national identity and everyday life. In closing, the 1979 Elizabeth II 5-cent coin without a mint mark is a small but valuable cornerstone of Australian decimal numismatics. Its scarcity in top condition, enduring design, and connection to the social fabric of its time have cemented its status as a collectible of real importance. Whether appreciated in worn and dirty form as a relic of circulation or sought after in mint state as a prize for serious collections, it continues to attract attention and respect. As the years pass, its place in numismatic history will only grow stronger, ensuring it remains a prized possession for collectors both in Australia and abroad.